Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic. You look pretty as ever. See?
Thank you. Oops. I
It's
just
all
told
about
you
the
not to try
Easters.
to not drop anything loud, and here I am dropping loud things in the mic.
Yeah, I can't help it. One of us had to do it. I can't
Someone
be the
had
one to take it all the time.
someone had to start the show off, right?
Right?
Tell them what we're doing here, please.
We are doing a check in. And so for me, a check in is along those lines of how are you doing? How have things been? Is anything bothering you? Or how good are we?
Yeah. Okay.
We. And I'm like, on a scale of 1 to 10, we're gonna shoot for a 9 for the rest of the week.
Impressive. I like that. I
Can't be perfect.
Special shout out to everybody who's joining us this evening. I see a lot of people in the chat. Thank you. Second live for me today. I'm trying to live that Liz Ferris life and do lives at least once a day. It's actually really fun to plan my thoughts around something. Like if I'm gonna go live, I'll pick a topic and then I'll start my brain will work on it through the day. So I knew we were gonna have this check in tonight and it's gonna be our weekly thing.
Yep.
And it was actually your idea. That's why I asked you, like, what is it that this means to you? Because I love it. And I think it's a good idea because we talk on the phone all the time. And then
Mm-hmm.
we aren't necessarily able to give people information unless we're calling them or texting them or sending messages as we do. But why not just have a weekly check in and recap? And we could have, an ongoing segment if we want. If anybody has ideas of like, what you'd like to see weekly. Obviously, one of them will be an update on Bob Ferris. And
Yep.
that's a big part of Liz's mental health is how is her dad doing? And how are we feeling about our parents this week and our separation from them? Or, I know you still have your mom.
Kind of, but yes.
Yeah, kind of.
It's one of those volatile relationships that could snap at any moment.
Yeah, and Liz and I understand each other in a very deep way because we both have moms who are hardcore Scientologists, at least in theory and mentally with the technology sometimes, even if they're not. Liz's mom is sometimes says things where I'm like, are you sure you're committed? Like you think like she's smart, you know?
Yeah,
Um,
like before she went into Scientology, like that woman was an advanced chemist. Um, and then I want to say they sunk her hooks into her, but really it was her husband at the time that gave her the push to the door. And yeah, so my mom's story is super sad.
yeah. Um, and I have compassion for your mom, and I think it's beautiful that you're still in her life and supportive and you have shown the most amount of forgiveness, empathy, courage, all of that. And you know that. I'm not going to make you cry in our first, intro.
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But you have overcome a lot, and you give your mom always the benefit of the doubt for being a good human. And I do the same. And I understand you there, and I like respect your heart. So we always want to make sure we check in with each other how we're doing with things, and we thought it would be cool to invite everybody else along, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Because we're putting everything out there, might as well be totally upfront and honest.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. It's kind of we're out here or we're not. I don't know. We tried to do kind of in the middle, and it just doesn't work. So this is us. We're stepping into who we are, and we're going to be us checking in and being the friends that we are and just sharing it with you guys.
Yep. Because you guys have become a part of the friend zone, and
Yeah.
for that, it's like I got my Charizard outfit today and I almost wore it. I really did. And then I was like, it is summer. V will laugh at me.
No, I wouldn't.
She would be like,
I would though, because it is summer, but it's a cold day in California. I'm wearing a flannel, you know.
yeah. So I was like, I'm wearing it tomorrow. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow, but I'm wearing it tomorrow. So I'm super stoked to wear that tomorrow.
Tomorrow's one of those days that I thought was Thursday. It's Friday. So
I thought today was Friday, if it makes you feel any better. I started lollygagging on the way home, and I'm just listening to music, and I'm
this
just
is exactly what happened, Alex. Liz just friend zoned every single person here. She said, I have a love.
I do. I very much do.
She's very beautiful. She's a very good friend of mine, even though I haven't known her very long. She's someone I could always call in an emergency. So
Mhm.
Liz is very, very, very serious about her love. And it's actually, I've had to, as we've worked together to grow Liz's YouTube channel and just decide, like, what is it that represents Liz? Is it Pokemon? Is it cults? Is it comics? Is it, what is it? I've had to talk with Carrie and say, you cannot walk into the room when we're on a live because Liz cannot keep it together. It's like hearts are shooting out of her eyes. And it's like, see, like she's blushing because she's like thinking of Carrie. Like it's so wild how this love thing with her works, you know? It's really cute when you see it in person because you're like, oh, that doesn't exist. And then I'm like, oh, wait, you guys are really, really, really cute, though. Maybe it does.
Maybe it does.
Maybe it does. I don't know. We'll see about that. At least Elvis knows it does. Oh, I brought a gift for you. Hold on. I brought a gift for you. Hi, baby. Hi, baby.
I love that dog.
Hi, baby.
He's the best tripod ever.
Say hi.
Hi, buddy. Hi,
Tell
buddy.
them, hi, sweetheart. Tell them where Elvis was from. Where you're from, actually. He's from Tulare, and it's a large dumping zone for dogs in California, and we have incredible connections with the the shelters up there who call us as people who will actually do something about the dogs that need the most help, that maybe get passed up by other rescues or Best Friends Animal Society. A lot of people every month, they have their paycheck go out to these like larger foundations, and then I'm the one at the shelter ending up taking these kinds of dogs that, you know, larger foundations, maybe they can't take a dog that is labeled as a biter because of whatever reasons they have internally. But we can, and that's why we have a smaller dog rescue. So I tend to take projects like Elvis, and he is actually my biggest project I've ever had in over 10 years. Over 10 years, Liz.
Yeah, I can see that because he is a little bit of a handful, but if he's not at your house, he will be at mine. I'm just saying.
That was a threat from actually day one. She was like, no. I said, you know, when you guys get here, don't be upset because Elvis is going to really try to bite you. For real. I was like, he's going to actually try to bite you. And he does, Liz, right? This is not a lie. But once you learn his personality, he loves you. Remember when we were at your house and all of a sudden we hear like wildness breaking out in the living room, and it's like Elvis going crazy, and it was literally Carrie force holding him, which is exactly what I do. I force love. It's my biggest trick with foster dogs. I force love, but it's just the right amount. So like they can just not bite my face off.
Right?
And after you see that I do that with him because he's like, it's risking my life every time I kiss this dog. But he started off, he was dragging his back legs. Someone had abused him, thrown him. I'm assuming because he's hates being held. So that's his one thing. He's like freaks out because he loses control. But he had numerous breaks on his legs, so we had to get his leg amputated. We found out he has cancer. He was living in an abandoned apartment complex for months. The neighbors called the animal services, and then they were like, "We don't know what to do with this guy," and they lied. They said he was grumpy.
Yeah, he grumpy.
No, more than grumpy. That's like
He
rescue code for
Oh, I
vicious
was like,
biter who will attack everybody, aka satanic dog. But he is now my
he can be a little bit
angel
of
who
Satan
like
spawn.
he like bullies me into kissing him and petting him in the mornings. He's like, more. And I'm like, I can't say no. I worked so hard for this. I'll stay in bed with you all day. Like, he is so cute.
You can't help but love him. Like he is gonna make some, like, he's your other service dog, because now you all understand why I said bring the Chihuahua, the bitey one, because he's sitting there. Grrr, grrr, but any moment it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good boy. Yeah, so the only way that he's actually learned to stop doing that, sorry, honey, he hates being like at all dominated where he feels like he can't get out or whatever. But the only way I've actually helped him with that is from him doing the actual, when he does that, I don't say bad boy. I actually say, it's okay, honey, it's okay. And I like get lower so that he feels like, oh, I don't have to, like, because his brain, I can see it. He gets confused. Can't you see that? He like
Yeah.
loves love, but then he like something triggers and he starts to go into like freak out mode. But when
Yeah.
I'm
Like if he thinks he's in trouble.
no, when he gets scared, like when he's just trying to bite me, right? He's just like in that mode. But instead of saying no and like making it worse, I just say, good boy. And I kind of like get low and try to like pet him. Hi, baby. He's just like staring at me right now. I try to like pet him and then his tail starts wagging and he comes back. So he doesn't get more scared, right? He just comes back. So it's kind of like reprogramming his brain, and it's really fun. And I love him. His name is Elvis Presley the Chihuahua, and he may stay forever. I don't know, you guys. He has cancer.
Yeah, he is. He's staying forever.
He's staying in the family, at least. He's staying for sure in the SPTV family.
Yes. Yes. Because if he's
Yeah.
not at your house, I'm fully aware he's going to be at mine. Because my love
I'm
loves
surprised
him.
Carrie's not in here threatening right now to like come pick
Yeah,
him
I'm waiting
up.
for her to message and be like,
I
that's
know.
my dog.
She must be like driving or something.
Or she's handling something or cooking dinner or
Yeah, for sure. So what's up with you? Tell me about what's going on. Let's do it. Let's do our check-in. What's on your mind?
Okay, so I basically have been opening up a lot more in regards to my past. So that was a little hard because I've noticed, some people, and this isn't a judgment upon anybody by any means. It's just one of those situations where it's like some people had a easier time than some of the other ones. But I found myself as I'm reliving my past and trying to explain something of what's going on. I'm remembering times with Serge Obolinski, and it's just like it's almost like it was yesterday that we were sitting in AOLA reading comics, watching Bruce Lee.
Yeah. It's like
And
you just rip the Band-Aid off and it's almost
Yeah.
like just right there at the surface again.
Mm-hmm. And you're just waiting for, just something. But it's also good because, then I can talk to him and be like, hey, do you remember doing this? Because I suddenly remembered that we did it, and he'd be like, I don't remember reading comics, but I don't remember a lot from my past, but thank you for letting me know about that. And I'm just like, oh, I love you.
I talked to him yesterday. We were texting earlier, but I'm going to see him soon. And that spirit is just like, so many of us have these just like kind souls. And he is so inspiring to me, just how artistic he is. Like, some people are just kind artists. And he's one of them, it's like really nice to see him finding community in friends like you and wanting to reach out and get together and talk and do art and go have food and just chill with his people. And like,
Right?
yeah, that's what this is all about. We haven't had our people. And when we come out, it's almost like sometimes we come out and then just go the other way. Like you
Yeah.
did that. And I kind of did that. Would you tell us about what happened there, if you don't mind?
With
Like when you came out, I feel like you said you kind of you kind of were a Scientologist still in your mind, but you weren't
yeah, it was still very much
connected to the X community, right? Or,
correct. So it was basically when I came out, I was still doing the little dance to like 75% of the people in my life. I was like, I'm bi. I like both. Um,
oh,
oh, isn't he pretty?
I didn't
Like
know that.
I did. I told about 75% that I was bi. And I told a very small percentage that I was gay. And then the other ones, I just never answered their question. Um, because I didn't want it getting back to, not that I didn't want it getting back to my mom, because telling my mom, she stuck around.
Hmm.
She judged for a little bit, didn't talk to me for a while, but she judged.
Was it like more acceptable in your head to tell people you were bi instead of
Yeah.
lesbian, or was it really how you felt?
Because
I mean,
then you get the whole lecture of, oh, good, it's just a phase. Like, do but he nothing, not at all, folks. But I would tell people, so it almost brought like I'm not totally out ethics, if that makes sense. Because a part of
yeah,
me did feel like I was out ethics.
degraded.
Like I knew this was how I was born. I knew this is how I was,
Yeah.
but I really thought I was out ethics.
Well, let's talk about why. I mean, I'll explain why if you want, or you can. It's up to
Well,
you.
growing up for me, my my mom had always like talked about, and I maybe she did know I was gay, but she had talked about these two members that had worked at the staff at San Francisco org with her,
Mm-hmm.
and they could still be gay, but they couldn't be practicing gay. Well, I didn't know what that meant. Like she would constantly say, "You can't be practicing gay." Um, I'm like, well, what does that mean? Finally, years later, because I suspected it just meant you couldn't like I did this isn't witchcraft. Like this isn't like rub a hand on a bowl. Like what is practicing gay? And she's like, well, you
Is it
can't be.
not? I'm being sarcastic.
Oh, okay. I'm like, man, I
I
hate it
have
when
to
you do that
clarify
to me.
when Liz. Sorry, you guys. If you're going to be watching this every week, we'll throw this out there. Sometimes Liz, only sometimes does she kind of get what I'm saying in a special hour or mood or witch moon phase. But occasionally, because I'm a very sarcastic person, I will stop and say, I'm being sarcastic because Liz doesn't actually, like, her brain doesn't comprehend sarcasm. And
Mm-hmm.
then she doesn't know what to say. So I always stop and say, I'm being sarcastic. So sorry, you guys, just a little heads up.
Yeah. But I appreciate when you tell me because then I'm like, oh, good, I didn't understand
Yeah,
for a
I feel
reason.
like you like it more when I do tell you instead of just letting it go. If you're like, huh? Like, because
Yeah.
I'm a smart ass and I just am super sarcastic, but I try to stop myself if I'm being like, too smart. Um,
But
smart lipped.
yep. So she finally explained to me that not practicing gay means you can't be with someone of the same sex. You basically have to give that up. So no more nookie nookie,
Wait,
no bow
what?
chicka wow wow.
Who? Mom?
No, for the two Sea Org, the two no staff members, the two staff members that were at the San Francisco org, they were
Okay.
gay,
Okay.
and they just couldn't be practicing gay, and
Okay.
that meant they couldn't be sleeping with someone of the same sex.
Mm-hmm.
As long as they didn't practice being gay, then they were allowed to be um, staff members.
Okay.
Because I'm blanking on the word staff member.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I always thought, if I just wrote up my overts and withholds after any time on the hoe bus, it would be fine.
The hoe
because I'm no
bus.
longer practicing that day.
The hoe bus.
Yeah, the hoe bus. Beep beep.
Is that really what you thought though, or did you? Because
No, I
that's
really
an
did.
okay. Because
I
that's like
really
what
have
people
journals.
say, but I didn't. I wasn't that cynical. I actually am kind of lazy and didn't want to do OWs on it, so I just wouldn't commit the overts.
Oh, well, I was committing overts all the time per my mom, so I had to write up OWs almost every day.
So it was habitual for you to be an
Yeah,
overt committer.
yeah. Like I didn't put the dishes away, or I put a dish away wet without drying it off first. That's an overt. I'm like, I'm still putting the bloody dishes away. But it's just one of those things. So
I
I've
just heard
always
the
read them.
phrase in my head. This is why it's like wild, you guys processing this trauma. I just, when she's like describing her mom calling not putting away the dishes an overt, I have this trigger phrase in my head because maybe other Scientology kids, if you're here, freaking let me know if it is for you. But ready, Liz? Prepare yourself.
Yep, I'm prepared.
Don't cut my comm.
Wasn't the sentence I thought you were going to say.
Did it catch
saying.
you off guard and make you shiver a little bit?
Yeah, that made my nostril flare.
I'm sorry. I told you to prepare yourself.
Yeah, well, I wasn't prepared for that one. I'm
Can't
just saying.
prepare. Can't prepare for this
Yeah.
shit.
How can you prepare?
You can't prepare for this shit.
But
It's so bad though. It like sends shivers down my spine because it's almost like my mom didn't tell me that not doing the dishes was an overt. She wasn't that extreme, but it is that same mindset, right? Of like you just have these euphemisms and phrases and Hubbardisms spoken at you that just stop all thought.
yeah,
So you can be like originating something or bringing something up, and they're like, "Don't cut my gum," or "That's an," it just stops the rest of the conversation.
yeah. Like that one gut wrenches me for some reason when they said you're talking and you think that they're totally on the same page as you, and then all of a sudden they get that look. Why did you cut my comm? I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Like you suddenly feel 2 inches tall and you're walking around naked. Like you just cut someone's comm. Like how dare you?
Mm-hmm.
Thank
you for Miranda, who's at an astronomy lookout, but catching up on 1.5 speed for her 2 leaves.
I've heard myself on 1.5 speed, by the way. I sound like a chipmunk. So I'm like, I don't even know what to say.
You're not going to like this. I listened to you at 2 speed.
No.
How am I supposed to stay up on SPTV and all of you guys' incredible lives if I don't just listen to everything 2 speed while I'm doing everything else? Like, there's no way.
Because I've listened to myself. I'm like, man, I thought I had a deep voice. You listen on 2X and suddenly it's like, nope, don't have a deep voice.
Do you think that is, first of all, I don't see Goldie in here.
I forgot to message her. I was driving. I told you I thought it was Friday. I started lollygagging.
I was going to say a joke about something that only Goldie would understand about something D Depot, but the hoe bus, the D Depot. We're doing a Goldie check right now to see where this woman is. Witness, thank you for everything. I know I'm very late at getting back to you on emails, but I really appreciate everybody and everything they say, everything they do, everything they send. Can't wait to talk more.
So I'm waiting for her to message back because that was my bad. I knew I needed to message her, and I really lollygagged listening to
We do have a rep
songs.
of the choo-choo train. So,
Choo-choo.
choo-choo's here.
I did see one
I see
question.
Marilyn in here, so I know the choo-choo train is here. We need that really, really cool cup she has. What did it? Remember she had a...
She does have some cool cups. I'm not going to lie.
She has like some swag. I think Denver Studio sells them, or isn't that right?
It's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible. He does sell a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he has really cool merch and stuff. I love that you guys have been connecting.
Yeah, I love Denver. I think he is
Yeah.
like the sweetest guy ever. And I keep telling them all the time, I was like, you shouldn't have told me you were single, because now I'm like, hey, everybody,
Trying to
just so
set
you
him up.
know, Denver's single. Like, give them a wink, wink. Oh, that was all bad. I have a wink, wink.
Wow,
Hold on.
you just outed him again as single. I mean, Denver Stevio.
Because he's such a nice guy. It's like you don't want to set someone up unless you know they're really nice. And once you know that they're really nice, then you just want all of America to know that they're so nice that it's like,
All
good
of
catch here.
America. I
Yeah,
know.
all of America. I'm gonna scring it.
All right,
Scring
let's
it.
sign him up for the Bachelor.
Oh, that'd be great.
Maybe SPTV Bachelor. Oh, hi, Goldie. Locusia.
Did you message?
Yeah.
No.
No, she's in the chat.
Okay, good.
Yeah, see, I'm on it. I've been learning this YouTube thing, trying to get my modding down. Even though you guys, we do have a bunch of awesome mods who are signed to both of our channels, because Goldie is very, very, very busy with the explosion
I'm telling you, she's like the
of SPTV channels. And so I have a lot of like personal friends who I've added on, and so does Liz, just to watch when we're live, just in case anybody's here
Yeah.
with a wrench, they can just handle things if I'm not like paying attention, or Liz isn't paying attention, or anything like that.
Yeah, because let's be real. I do need reading glasses, and I'm trying. I'm trying to
not
suck
even
up to old age.
I honestly don't even think like our YouTube is set up for ads and stuff the right way. Like, there's a lot of tech stuff. We're kind of just like
We're playing it by
winging
ear
right now. You know, that's
But
how
I
we
know
do.
I'm almost, hold on, I'm almost to a place where I could do the ads. It's I'm at like 759 subscribers, I think. Marilyn can tell me. I was like,
Yay.
I could have sworn it was 750 this morning. Like,
Yay. I love
oh,
that.
Laura. I just saw her.
You did?
I miss her. I'm always gonna, every time I see Goldenrod, I think of her now.
She's the best. We were telling this story. Can sound really dirty if you want it to be dirty. It's not dirty. So we were out, and I walked into a boulder, remember? And
Yes,
because
sorry.
I'm like, oh, I'm a YouTuber now. I'm going to film us having fun. And I actually have the video. And I'm like, Serge, Lara, say hi. Boom. And it's like, literally, I just walk so heavily into a rock and then start bleeding and stuff. And then when we got back to her house, she's like, this is why you know she's a hardcore, like, what ranch did she grow up on?
She
Like,
was
it
at
was the Ant Ranch.
the Ant Ranch.
Yeah, it was. Those kids are hardcore, like, or the Pack Ranch kids, dude. They're hardcore, because I knew that she was like a field MLO. The way that she was like, "Don't worry, I got antibiotics. I got this. I got that." And she literally takes her finger and she like puts Neosporin on it after she cleans my huge bloody wound out, and she sticks her freaking finger in it and rubs it in, and she goes, your legs are too beautiful. They're not going to scar, okay? And I was like, I really love you. You're a good sister. And then I felt bonded to her forever. Even though we've known each other forever, it was a very, like, sweet moment, because not many people will just touch your wounds. And,
Right?
Like,
There's so
sure
many
you
people
don't
that
scar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love you. My personal MLO, my Boulder MLO. We're gonna move that thing. We're gonna remove it from the Roosevelt. I've had offers to remove it.
If they're gonna remove it, they need to bring it to your house and be like, this is
They're not
this
gonna.
is a
I
rude
bet
rock.
you that boulder has been there since like 1950, because that hotel is so old. They used to. I mean, Marilyn used to have her own suite there for my graduation party last year. My incredible friend went and behind my back went and upgraded my room to the Maryland suite that she used to live in. And I was like, oh my God, what did I do to be so spoiled? But it was so sweet. And there's a lot of legends about Maryland's ghost in that hotel. So I like to hang out by the pool. Me and Laura like to do our little fun times and lovely girl hours and just catch up. And when A was here, we took him and Tommy from the lifeboat, and we just got cocktails and we got dinner and we went bowling. And in the Roosevelt, they have all these different. I love it there because it's almost like Disneyland for adults. There's like all
Yep.
these fun restaurants, and there's a hidden bowling alley, and different spots to just lounge and stuff. The most beautiful, beautiful lobby you've ever seen. And you're right on the boulevard. So it's just the most fun place to take people. So any SPTV creators who come into town, you guys let us know. We'll have a fun night out.
Right? We do need to
Yeah.
do that. Not
Yeah.
like at least schedule something like that.
Yeah.
I'm horrible at bowling.
Yeah. Okay. That's why. They definitely built the hotel sidewalk around the boulder, which obviously blended in slightly too much for our model walk in photography show. Exactly. We were model walking and we walked directly into a boulder. But it happens,
It does.
right?
I have a few boo-boos from walking into doors.
Yes, they did name a suite after you, Marilyn.
I love her name.
Me
Every
too.
time I think of her name, all I can think of is, for my birthday, will you sing Mr. President to me?
Oh my gosh. That's what you think of when you think of her name? Mr.
No, she's a
President?
mom, but I just want to get it from a Maryland sometime in my life.
Someone's in the house. He
Hey,
just
Denver.
got word we were selling him out on here as being a single man looking for his we're out here looking for his partners. Apparently
Right?
Liz is.
No, because he's such a nice guy. Everybody has to know the nice guy, because nice guys
I
don't
know.
need to finish last.
I agree. I think that's why a lot of nice guys end up, I don't know, just like staying to themselves because
Hmm.
they feel like they're going to finish last. And it's because maybe they didn't get enough thank you for ever being a nice guy. And I just think it's important that we say thank you when they're good
Yeah.
guys because we need it, you know?
Yes. I know he'd go to bat for any one of us.
Yeah. He seems like a really cool guy. I mean, there's so many people who it almost feels like you've known them for so long, but we haven't. And we're like, you guys, some of us have made these instantaneous relationships with other creators here who were never even in Scientology, right? Like the Never Ends are so awesome. And we bonded with everyone so much doing the chatathon. And now you and Marilyn are always doing these chats. And me and Marilyn are talking on the phone. We're going to schedule a thing. And everyone is asking me to connect each other with everyone who's so, they're almost connections I would never even think of. And it's really freaking cool to see all this
Right?
collaboration. Yeah, networking and like, it's really cool.
Now, the Never Ends and Poe was also talking about doing another. Okay, and we're talking about doing another chatathon, and I don't remember when they were talking about doing it, but or maybe I'm behind. I might have forgotten. Oh God, please don't tell me that. But maybe Maryland or
No,
Denver
I don't
can.
think so. I don't think that. I mean, I haven't heard anything on the books yet. That was a really, really fun day. It definitely took a lot of planning to get how
Yeah,
many did we have? 10 or 11
I think we had.
SPs
Yeah, I think we had 11. If I remember
at
right, it was
least. Yeah,
11.
it was a lot. It was so, so, so fun, but also like a lot of planning and all that. So it has to take, everybody who's over there wanting to and inviting us because they're like taking their time too to host it for all day, which is so freaking sweet.
It was.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful. Like that helped me get down there. Oh dear God.
I don't think so. I think you're like trying to be Elvis right
Yeah,
now.
he's
Oh
trying.
my
He's trying.
God.
You're trying to.
Do you see Elvis right now?
Is
He's
he
like
sleeping?
dead asleep with like a smile on his face.
All right.
This is what you are, Denver Stevio, no matter what you say.
Mm-hmm.
Because I see how nice you are to Liz, and I
Right.
like it. You're nice to my friends, and I appreciate it because we need people to be nice to us because we've had a hard background, and a little compassion goes a long way.
Yeah, that's why I pimp you out. Like literally.
The never ends are amazing. Very, very, very true.
Yes, I did see a Save Bob hashtag Save Bob Ferris too.
Yeah, me too.
I was like, every time I see that, I'm like, I'm gonna get you out, Dad. I'm gonna get you out. Just keep
What's the
pushing.
update with Dad?
So update with Dad is I sent my email off so that way I could potentially get additional information. I haven't heard back yet, but the person's really busy.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that within the next couple of days I hear something so that way I can get the documents.
Okay.
Or at least see the body cam footage. I've also, someone wrote me, actually they wrote down all of the information to send in, now I just forgot the name of it. It's Freedom of Information Act request.
Okay. Yeah.
Like they wrote it out, everything.
Mhm.
And, I had a friend of mine, she's going to look it over. And then as soon as she says yes, I'm going to potentially send it out.
Okay.
So yeehaw.
Anada's wearing the shirt.
Nice.
Yay. Love it.
I do love those shirts. I like, again, I can't wait for the surprise. Sorry, I don't have the big eyebrows, but
I know what this. I know what the surprise is.
right? Isn't it exciting?
Betty Boop.
The boop.
I need to start. You know what? You are a smart woman, Liz.
Yeah. I'm smarter than the average bear.
You really are, because Betty Boop, if you go through like my childhood stuff about going to Disneyland and every autograph book, it was all Betty Boop. Like, I love Betty Boop, and you've been calling me V Boop. And I didn't even remember how much I love Betty Boop until you told me.
It's because it fits you.
But that's making me so happy because it wasn't on purpose. It wasn't something I had to design, right?
Nope.
It just was like a thing you made up, and I love it because she's just like, I remember meeting the character and having to take photos and be like, "Oh, I love you so much." So that's a very nice title to have these days.
Right. And for me, I didn't like Disneyland personally, but I did like Donald Duck. Like that was my mission in life.
Yeah.
Was, when I was a little kid, I was I'm gonna grow up and be Donald Duck.
That's funny. That's an interesting character to choose.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because he had a
You
hot
know?
head.
Yeah.
Because he had a hot head, and then that makes her Daisy. Because she can calm me down instantly. Oh Lord. That's funny.
What?
But because so Donald Duck had a hot head, and the only one that could calm him down was his soulmate, Daisy. And she would just be like, "Enough, Donald. Enough." And that's exactly what Carrie does. No, you're not doing that. I'm like, oh man. I did turn into Donald.
Did Daisy have a secret power other than being his soulmate, or that was it?
That she was sweet, kind, and she did dress up like a cheerleader. Oh my God, her and Minnie Mouse were cheerleaders.
Wow.
We're having I am totally calling her Daisy Duck from now on.
That's cute. I was a cheerleader, but it was only for Delphi Academy. So it was like 5 people. And Delphi Academy was all Scientology kids or like local people convinced to send their children there because it was a private school masquerading as a secular school. But it wasn't that cool. But
so was Pinewood. Pinewood was.
But Delphi was the biggest. We were on a campus where it was Delphi, Pinewood, Renaissance, Options for Youth was even up there for a little bit, which is just a regular weird one. And then there was a bunch, Hogs Hollow, Lewis Carroll. They were all on the same campus in La Cañada for a long time. But Delphi was the only one where we had actual sports that we could play against other teams because it was the biggest. It was actually the biggest. So like I played against Rebay in LA, which is another private school, when we did like softball and volleyball and stuff. But I don't think that even happens anymore. I don't know. It was like,
Hmm, you never
private
know.
schools can play private schools, but they
Yep.
couldn't, I couldn't ever play like anything public league or something.
Oh, I loved my public league.
How did you do that? Oh, because you got to go to public high school?
Well, when my mom left in 1990,
Hmm.
um, I needed sports. Like I was not okay with the fact that we left and I was never going to see my friends again. Um,
When
and by
you
not
left
okay,
in 1990,
when my mom left.
the Sea Org?
Hmm.
Okay.
So I I didn't understand. Like first I thought she was gone and then she comes back and I'm thinking, okay, good, we're going to go back now. Because yeah, I really thought we were going back as soon as I saw my mom. Didn't realize that we're out. Um, so my mom and my nana had talked and said, let's just get her into sports, see if we can point some of the anger in another direction.
Hmm.
So yeah, they enrolled. Well, first they tried to enroll me in baseball. That didn't work because girls could not play baseball. They can now, but back then, no. So then I got to play softball and I got a private coach so that way I could learn how to pitch. And I got a batting coach so that way they would teach me how to
Wow.
bat.
They really, who got you the coaches? Your mom or?
My nana
That's really nice.
and I think that my grandma always paid for um, my sport, whatever sport it was, whether it was swimming or softball. She always paid the sport.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so
That's
I
really,
did
really
have that.
nice. That's really,
You
really
know,
nice to have that. Um, Apparently, Denver Studio is going to fill in for Janice this weekend on Peeling the Onion. So that's cool. We wish you luck with that. That'll be awesome.
you're gonna blow it away.
Yeah, we will totally be watching. We support all these channels and hope that everybody kills it because we think you guys are fascinating.
Yes. Every time the one thing about Marilyn that always cracks me up. So if Liz Gale and I are both in the chat at the same time, she's like, "Oh, you guys are early birds," and I'm just like, "It's only 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
7 o'clock makes us an early bird."
Yeah.
Like
Total.
now, one of these days, I'm gonna have to do a live at like 5 a.m. and be like, "Who's the early bird now?" But you never know.
It's so funny how like the energy just changes. Like we're different people even at the end of the day, and you usually don't get off work until late enough for us to be able to do an evening time live.
Hmm.
So it's definitely interesting. I did it live this morning, and I felt like, sorry, my brain was just a little bit more focused. But this is kind of more fun, more laid back, and I think that's why these evening time ones. Because over in Clearwater, it's 9:46 right now.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, that's crazy.
Clearwater, Florida.
Have you ever, how you? I know part of your story is you went to Clearwater, right?
I lived in Clearwater, yeah.
How did you like it?
I like it as a like geographical location. Like I really love that there's ponds and lakes and bodies of water everywhere and you can drive over the causeway and get to a downtown beach area and get the most delicious cannoli you've ever had in your life and sit on a beach where there's squeaky clean sand and it's kind of like paradise from one way and then the other way it is at the time when I lived there I was a Scientologist teenager and all I wanted was more Scientologists there. I was there when the first Starbucks opened in downtown. Everyone was so excited and Clearwater was kind of small. The downtown wasn't much. Still isn't much, but they've had a revitalization at least. But yeah, we used to hang out at the Starbucks right when it opened, all the Scientology kids, and it was pretty fun, but it was so boring compared to LA kids scene. And like there was so much more of us out here and there was so much more to do, I guess. So I came back pretty quickly, honestly. I was not that into it. I was like, I gotta go back to LA. We're like doing we're going to Hollywood shows and stuff. Like this downtown Clearwater thing ain't cutting it.
Yeah. I know for me, the humidity killed me.
Yeah.
Like, I have this, straight hair, but the humidity made my hair frizzy. That was,
That's just like, oh, a whole other thing. You have to do completely different hairstyles, completely different makeup.
I didn't have to worry about the makeup, but
Yeah, I know you
but the
both love
hair,
doing makeup. Yeah. It's such an interesting vibe too. It's like super in Clearwater at least. It was very Tampa, Tony, Dunedin, uh Ybor influenced, which is like their culture of dirty South, and I love it. It's like their only radio stations are like super hood music or like really bad white people music from like the 90s that you've just heard too many times. It's like really,
yeah, the
it,
overplayed channel.
yeah, it's really this or that sometimes, or at least it was when I was there. But I loved that they have little cool places to eat everywhere, like little sandwich shops. And there's a lot of Polish people in that town. And I have Polish ancestry, but there's not a lot of Polish people in Los Angeles. So there's nowhere to get Polish food other than like two places. And they're really not that good. But in Clearwater, they have a place called the Pierogi Pit, and you can get a plate of pierogies and get a, beer. But I don't know. That's just me. I like the charm of the city, but the actual overwhelmingness of the Scientologists is a whole other
Yeah.
is a whole other thing. I really, as a Scientology kid, hated it versus LA. LA is way more welcoming. Like you can go, I could go into CC and walk around like, welcome to my chateau. And at Flag, they're like, who are you?
Yeah.
Like, can we walk you out? I was like, hello? Do you know who I am?
Yeah. Do you need to
Right?
call the
Is
president's
that not
office?
like, is that true or am I just tripping? Because it seemed like they were a lot higher security at Flag and they just
Yeah.
really want to keep an eye on us, you know?
It was a 180 when I was there, because there was a lot more freedom that we had.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there was a lot more freedom, to be completely honest. Like that's the
Yeah.
word I would use.
Yeah.
When it came to Los Angeles, there was zero freedom when it came to Flag.
Yeah.
Like everybody got roped down.
Oh, so maybe it was more about keeping the inside safe.
It's possible, or keeping the
Yeah.
inside away from everybody on the outside that could taint our minds, that could wake us up or
Yeah,
something.
because if they're more worried about us coming in because they're keeping us from you guys. You know what I mean? Like, I could just walk into CC and be like, oh, hey, what's up? Let's go talk. Whereas at Flag, they're actually on the radio. Like, who are you? Where are you on lines? Who is your parents?
Yeah.
Let me see if this checks out.
Yep.
It checks out.
Yeah, and then they start treating you nice. They're like, oh, like I remember when I first met.
Lifetime membership. IAS. Thank you. Why is my thing not working? I hit show. Oh, there we go. Hi, Poe.
Hi, Poe. I love how he says howdy, howdy, howdy.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Like I could
our
totally
buddy.
picture him saying that.
Cedar Duval, I have a question for you since you brought up Delphi.
Okay.
This is for Cedar Duval,
Okay.
a member of our audience right now. Are you related to the Allen family? Allen. That's it. Hit yes in that chat and let me know, and we'll talk if you are.
Well, here's my question, because maybe Poe's ears were ringing. Poe, you were originally talking about doing another chat-a-thon. What was the time frame you were thinking of? What was it you were talking about as for time? Because I need to make sure that my schedule is clear.
All right. We will find out. Duval all the way. Okay, maybe she's not related to who I think. There's someone who I was really, really, really close with who had a cousin with that last name. And I've been wondering when I see your last name in the chat. Do you even back? Interesting. This is just the coolest place to just literally see people from our past pop into the chat. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
Like, wow. It's almost like a group catch up. Okay,
Hey, group
post.
catch-ups are good.
I know, I love it. Liz Ferris, I was looking for the standard 10 hours, and once we can get everyone lined up, we can set a date. Okay, so I wonder if he's talking with the Neverends and they're scheduling it or what's going on. But Marilyn's here. If you guys are interested in doing that, you just let us know. What were you thinking? Just doing another chat-a-thon to raise awareness for your dad?
Well,
Or
he's the one
Poe?
that had the idea. Poe
Yeah,
had the idea. I was like, hey, gets the message out to my, trying to get him out.
yeah.
I am golden. I will be there. But no dates were discussed because I was like, wait, I know how much work V did. I
Yeah.
can't replicate that. I wish I could photocopy you because that would make things so much easier.
Excuse
Um,
me?
it would. If there was like multiple photocopies of you, just think of everything you could accomplish.
Same,
You'd end world
ma'am.
hunger.
Aww.
There'd be no dogs.
I
No
know
dogs
there
on
would
the
be
street.
there would at least be no homeless dogs. That's kind
Yeah.
of my thing. It's like, can we at least have no homeless, suffering, hungry dogs? That would be my wish.
My wish would be that every second gen that's on the street would have a place to go. Whether it's for the holidays, whether it's for a day, even for a moment. Like I've thought about like the next time I'm down there, like just giving out food to hungry people and just being like, this is because it's just because it's whatever day it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey Liz, can you run this show for a moment? I'm gonna step
Yeah.
away and put this on mute.
You got it.
Be right back. Why don't you pull up some of these starred comments I got going on?
The power.
You can skip the ones that are for me, but if you want to just, bring some stuff, I'll be right back.
Okay. Hold on. There was a question. All right. So here's one. I can't. Oh, I don't have the power. So it's Renee B. Question. How was your reunion with Serge? Honestly, it was amazing. I wanted to hug him, but I didn't know if he was a hugger. Um, so it was just one of those things where I was like, "Oh my goodness, like it's you," and we're inches away from each other, and it was a great day. Like when we went to eat, he literally just sat across from me, and we drew, like started sketching on the table. Oops, sorry, everybody. Um, I'm still hitting that puberty thing. We don't even know. So it was a happy day for me. It released a lot of trauma from my childhood because it just meant the world to me to be standing in front of him, knowing what we went through as kids. So it meant the world to me. I hope that answers your question, Renee. Um, and then is there any for just me? See, these are for all of us. Well, Snake, thank you. You're both beautiful. Thank you so much. I'm sure that's also for V, but well, I know it's for both of us. Denver again is single. Single ladies, if you want to reach out, say hi. He's a good guy. He'll say he's not, but he's a good guy. To briefly say what it was like, when I see on my phone that it's Surge, it's like a brother's calling me. And we're gonna do a checkup. Even if it's just like 3 minutes. It makes my day, you know? Like I was really not understanding this whole wish list thing and this buy me a coffee and all that stuff. And then I got the first package and I was like, "Oh my god." And I open it and I'm sitting there. I see a dog. Um, and all I can do is smile. So for those of you that hit up my wish list, thank you. Um, And then Poe, you say Atlas. Because I can't pull it up. Come on, Liz, you know you're beautiful. Yes, I do know that I
You
have a
can't pull
beautiful heart.
things up?
No. Like I
Okay. Let's
clicked
pull
until it
some
all
things
turned
up.
blue.
Did you talk about this one?
I want to hear about your likes and dislikes, sometimes deep topics. Help balance it.
Sometimes the deep topics need light things to balance it. Yeah, likes and dislikes. I think this was in response to the question I asked earlier about what do they want to hear us talk about. So, likes and dislikes. I'm going to start a list. If anybody else wants to put their input, that'd be really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have, well, I mean, I dislike shrimp. Does that count?
Yeah, it does.
Because it'll kill
Actually.
me.
I know. Yeah, because you'll go into anaphylactic shock.
Yeah.
That's a really cool idea. Likes and dislikes. What's one like and one dislike? What's one? I know you dislike shrimp. What's one like?
Crude people.
Oh yeah.
I don't like crude people.
I don't like crude people either. It's hard for me to.
I have a strong dislike for someone that needs to belittle someone to feel better about themselves.
Yeah.
And I love watching someone stand up for a little person.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Totally.
But it's kind of like, see, that makes me think of my dad, because I feel like my dad is the little person because he's 72 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And he tried to get out, and someone needs to stand up for him out here, you know. And now I have an army behind my, like an army with me, behind me.
Yeah.
Or with me and behind me. And so it's kind of like I'm the little guy standing up to the big guy. So David and Goliath, guess what? David won.
Check out that resilience, buddy.
Yipper skipper.
Check out that resilience, old ghost of L. Ron Hubbard haunting us. Be gone.
Toodaloo.
Vanessa, so many of us have experienced abuse. The only way he can express it is biting, and that is absolutely right. He can't speak words, and that's the only way he tells me. And I see it and I feel it, and I've always had a very, very special connection with animals since I was young. And I know that your love has too.
She's the baby whisperer and the dog whisperer in one.
It's something about, I think, just highly sensitive people probably, and just feeling the emotions that the animals give us, you know? It's
Yep.
so nice. Being able to communicate with them too on a different level when they can't use words. Thank you, Snake. Says you are both beautiful. You both are beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, I tried to make a comment. I was like, yeah, Vanessa is. And I'm okay too. And then Poe was like, you know, you're beautiful. I was like, damn it, Poe, why you gotta be a good dad?
He's a good dad. I know. He's such a dad. Yeah, I really appreciate that about that man. He is like,
yeah, he's
just
like
there for the cause. He's down.
Yeah, and it's like, and the way that he talks about his kids, I'm like,
yeah,
man, don't fuck with his kids. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Watch out now. You might be one of them.
I'm okay with that, because he's like that dad you always wanted, you know, because mine was missing. And now I'm trying to get him out, but at the same time, I thought he was dead. So it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, I always wanted to have a really good dad, and it's not even about like the weird things. It's literally about the holidays and remembering a birthday.
Yeah.
I don't ask for a lot from a parent. I'm just saying, don't get a belt out. Don't try to hit me. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
Corinne, no, her name is Karine. Karine.
You have an army behind you. So don't you stress. Like, I mean, it sucks, and it sucks for me too. I've had to just kind of, I don't want to say get over it. You don't really get over your parents choosing something other than you for the rest of their life, and always had. You kind of have to just like hope and keep hope alive. But I don't know, the longer I've had to process the choices that have been made, I've been able to advocate for myself better, to be able to help myself get an army behind me. And
Hey, I'm an
that's
army
what you're,
behind you.
yeah, I know. And that's what is wild. I know I got my big sister I've always needed with those big guns
I'm
to
all,
just
don't, you don't want
mess.
tickets
And
to this
Nora
gun
too.
show.
Nora's literally like, I will talk to anybody. I'm like, Nora, you're good. Like, thank you. And I really, really, really love that. And it actually took a lot of work internally to get to the point where I could even meet the two of you, to even have this opportunity, to have this channel, to even, there we go.
Hey,
Hey.
see,
Um,
you look like more like V Boop every day. Like you, just the face is. I'm just.
thank you. It's because you called out my persona and it was like, I hope I'm gonna have to get like the little black dress and all the heels when I come in here now. It'll be really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I have tried polka. I've had polka. We always used to go to polka. It's the only place in LA. It's also on Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives. It's a great episode, but it is unfortunately not that great. So it's my sad thing. It's a Polish restaurant, Liz.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Liz, you are beautiful. I agree. I
I
agree.
do see this one. The I'm gonna butcher the name. The could we coordinate phone call?
Yeah. Could we coordinate a phone call campaign for your dad, calling the location where he is and request to talk to him, or let him call you?
Um, that's it's not a bad idea. There is a particular number that we all know to that location,
Okay.
and we'll have to definitely you and I will have to discuss that to see if that's an option, because for my heart, again, puberty is hitting me hard.
I think we're talking a lot more than we normally do. That's
Oh,
what's happening. I keep clearing my throat and I feel bad because we're on a microphone. I'm not thinking about the people out there. But it's like we've been talking more than we ever have since we launched YouTube channels.
right. Um, but it's we'd have to think about that. Oh,
I'm just showing this one because it's funny because he's like literally sorry on the phone with Karen. Like that is our lives. Like behind the scenes, we literally all are like, gotta go on the phone with so and so. It's like
right.
really
Or so and
fun.
so's calling. I'll give you a call right back.
Yeah, and it's always like a different SPTV creator because this is just like a social thing as well when we get to plan like these lives and when we're going to talk with you guys, we end up just like having fun and making community, and that's the best thing. Okay, I'm going to go back to these starred ones and work down the way. um this was about Elvis. OMG, I love him. I had one of my grizzly growly grooms today. Yes, he's been groom traumatized, and no one else in town will groom him. But I've made great progress with him over the last 3.5 years. Yeah. Thank you for grooming those dogs that nobody will, because we have a special groomer here in LA that we can take hard to handle dogs to. But it's like that low, low secret life that you have to know the right people to like get the hookup for the groomer
Yeah,
who
I'm
will take the
interviewing
bitey
someone.
dog.
Uh,
You are?
yeah, I have to interview someone to do Bambino. Um, Not because he's a bitey dog, but because he will cry and cry. He's a husky.
Yeah.
And some people don't want to do huskies because they do cry.
Yeah.
And it's more along the lines of I have to interview a couple people to see if they're going to be able to bathe him and get his nails
Yeah.
done without
And your
losing their
husky
hearing.
is a crybaby too. Like,
Yeah.
no offense, but your husky is like a mommy's boy.
Yeah. Hey, that's my baby.
I know.
Like, I've had that fluff butt since he was like 7 weeks old.
He's adorable, but he's like, mother,
Mm-hmm.
mother. We don't deserve animals. You are absolutely right, Alicia. Absolutely right. We do not. They are so good for us and to us.
Mm-hmm.
This one I like because I just wanted to answer it. It's on. There used to be one on Hollywood Boulevard, a Betty Page store. She says, I think you'd love the clothes. I have been to a Betty Page store. I love the Betty Page line. I think it's super cute. There's even better lines, though, in that regard of that 50s pinup look because they're so expensive.
Yeah.
So there's a line I really, really like out of Long Beach called Stop Staring. And my friend Amy, who her murder trial is actually going on today, I've been trying to block it out. She was a model for Stop Staring. And she's so freaking beautiful. And Stop Staring has the most incredible, like, 50s, 60s inspired, like that look that you always say I have, Liz. That's how I used to dress when I worked for Sailor Jerry. And we used to go out and do, it's a rum brand that was based on the founder of American Tattooing, Norman Sailor Jerry Collins.
Okay.
And we helped with the branding. And this was before branding was even a phrase. But we did it all over Los Angeles. And we got to like give out tattoos and do tattoo conventions and do things at the Queen Mary and all that. So we got so much of that rockabilly cool culture. Yeah. So I wish I could even afford to honestly just order from the Betty Page store whenever I want, because I do think they might be the one who's still in town. Like, I don't know if other ones are still even around. I think Stop Staring, stop making clothes, and I have to order them on eBay every time I do, but I do. Hey, guess what I do? I'm always getting new Stop Staring clothes. Cedar Duval, this is what I wanted to say. I remember that campus. We were talking about Delphi and Pinewood. And, Alicia and I actually went there a couple weeks ago, and she was in town and walked around, and we actually took her mom's ashes because her mom used to work there when we were kids. I remember that campus. I was pantsed in front of all 4 campuses worth of students and parents one day after a field trip. Oh my gosh, that's hundreds of kids and really, really embarrassing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's a skosh embarrassing. I did want to see, I know you're going to grab the next one, but
Sure,
pup
which one?
groomer, Liz, I groom huskies, just saying, are you in California?
Oh,
Are you near me?
let us know.
I'm just saying, because he gets car sick and I'm not trying to have him throw up in my car.
Hey, oh, this is important. Okay. I'm so very sorry I reminded you of a sad memory talking about Betty Page. Guess what? Please never apologize for that, because guess what? Our freaking lives are filled with sad memories. And
Yeah.
all we ask is that you just be here with us. And if a sad memory comes up, we're just going to talk about it and then we're going to move on. And like when people run from it, it makes us feel like we don't want to talk about it. And it's actually so helpful. So it's helpful when we just talk. And we love embracing whatever sad memories we have. It actually helps us to process things out loud, right? Like
Yeah.
I mean, that's not even sad for me. It's something that's going on in my life and I think about every day, and it's kind of nice to say out loud, right? So
Yeah. I mean, for me, knowing that there were people listening to my childhood, and yes, my childhood wasn't full of roses and sunshine.
yeah,
But it
clearly.
did have a few happy memories, and it wasn't all horrible, but there were a lot of horrible parts.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
even though there were a lot of horrible parts, the fact that there are people still listening and not doing the whole, why are you still here then? And because I'm doing the best that I can, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm just me.
You're doing so
And
good.
but I wanted to get my childhood out, so that way I was the one releasing my story. I was the one
Yeah,
saying what happened to me, so that it wasn't people guessing what my childhood was like, because
yeah,
you might have been wrong. Very.
yeah. Totally. I completely agree. Processing is so important. Alicia says, I always figure my shit out as I'm talking about it with someone. Sometimes actually saying words out loud, having to make sentences of what you're thinking can make it actually sound so absurd that you're like, what am I thinking?
Yeah.
Right?
And sometimes it helps you by saying it out loud. It helps you gather your thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Okay, we have a couple more. I just had to read this one. Vanessa, Betty Boop is classic pinup model. That's what you remind me of since the first time I saw you. So Liz hit the nail on that one. Well, thank you for seeing me, everybody. I appreciate that. I love classic things and vintage things, and it's just maybe part of growing up in Hollywood. And it's not the San Diego surfer style that my family always wanted me to have because that's kind of their vibe. My brother says things like, "Why does your hair have to be so black?" Isn't that funny?
Now we just need to get you like a hemikuda. Why did I just?
A hemikuda? What is that? What's a
Oh, good.
hemikuda? Tell me, please.
I'm thinking of the car, but for some reason I'm thinking hemikuda, and it's not hemikuda. It's forget it. Just stick with the Bel Air. For some reason, I'm having the hardest time remembering the name of that car.
Oh my god. Oh wow. Renee. Oh my gosh. She says, thank you for saying that. My son is in prison for stabbing and killing a roommate. My experiences only help others. I'm a nurse and deal with many people in crisis. Yes, thank you. I work at a crisis
Thank you.
center and yeah, thank you. We need people who are going to be there in crisis who will share their stories and experiences and talk about how this could be maybe different or why this happened and what could we bring to the forefront and what can we do to help and support anybody who is not experiencing the most amount of freedom or maybe in any facet of life, right? Like whether it's your father or a person who is in a residential treatment center, maybe if you can help anybody have light and hope at the end of the day, that is the most beautiful thing in the entire world, no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like really nice comment. Thank you. And Marilyn just keeps throwing this lovely playlist in here with some watch hours for me. And Liz, we're both building these new channels now. So thank you guys for all being here. We have quite a few people on, actually. It's really incredible for our first Monday night check-in.
Thursday.
I know. That's where I'm at.
Okay. I'm like, am I wrong? Is it Monday?
Because we're going to do mental health Mondays. No, you're not wrong. I'm wrong. I'm on Monday. Remember when I warned you about the days?
The one since joining the YouTube and trying to get the story out as much as possible and making as much noise as I can, my days are blending. Like I literally was getting off of work, lollygagging, and I'm just like singing. Oh God, the new song by
It's a Cult?
Miley Cyrus. I'm sitting there blaring "I Could Buy Me Flowers" and like just listening to it and just rocking the whole way home. And then all of a sudden I'm all, oh my God, it's Thursday. And I'm like,
you forgot?
I literally left work and I'm like, and I forgot that it's Thursday, even though we had just talked.
This is an important question.
I'm to blonde.
Obviously.
Because I barely see my eyebrows.
Betty and Veronica right here.
That's right. Blonde all the way. Yeah. Except just like Betty, I'm gay.
Dude, I didn't even realize that was a subplot until Liz explained it the other day, because it's fascinating how we see what is familiar to us. And I was telling her how I was so concerned with Archie and Reggie and Veronica. I didn't even notice that part of the storyline.
Right.
Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's so wild. Witness, thanks V for the never in appreciation. I agree. And just really important that you guys are here. Really, really, really important. And if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be doing this. Really, that's all it is.
Correct.
So thank you for being here with us and making time in your day to support us, because it's something that actually doesn't involve anything but your attention. And you can help survivors and you can share our stories. Oh, before we forget, hit the like, subscribe button, set the alerts when you hit subscribe to all, so you know when we're going live. I've heard a lot of people who have told me that they subscribe, but they're not hearing when we go live, and you actually have to change that setting.
Yeah, you have to
Um,
highlight the box.
Something like that.
It's
Highlight the
it's a
box.
bell, but
Yeah, no,
you
it
have to you
sounded
have to
dirty.
color in the bell. You highlight the box
uh,
within the box.
Jason, Vanessa, are you thinking of doing a live with Captain Tommy? Everyone on the live post looking forward to it. Yes, I am. I got goaded into it this evening. They had a 10,000 subscriber celebration today. Like Tommy hit 10,000. And so I stopped in to say hi, and he cornered me into it. But I'm going to do an interview over there because I think that so much of what we talk about and the prison and freedom rights thing about having to be taken out of society and then relearn how to adjust. And if there's one thing that you and I know how to do, Liz, it's adapt.
Yeah.
So I think that that is a really fascinating topic to talk about, kind of crime and cults, and then also readjustment into the WOG world.
Yeah, because it's not easy for them either, from what I've heard. Like books that I've read.
No, it's not easy at all. And I'm working with convicts at my work, and it's really actually so sad, because once you have something on your record, there's only a certain amount of places you can even start looking for work. And once you're in the system, you're in the system, and it's just a different layer of having a hard time. And it's nice when people are informed about how to actually help people through these situations, because sometimes when people just get convicted of a crime, it's almost like people believe they can't be rehabilitated, right? So if
Yeah.
they actually are rehabilitated, what are they supposed to do if they can't get anybody to give them a shot?
Yeah.
Right.
Because
That's
I
why we
know.
have Homeboy Industries, and we have all these really, really cool things that we use at work that are all jobs made for specifically ex criminals or ex people who have like spent time in any facility for committing crimes and then turn their life around.
Yeah. I know when I left the Sea Org, I could not find a job. Like,
Yeah.
because my resume
Yeah.
was like nothing. And I'm really good at rewording, you know, worked the copy machine, collating,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but it didn't
Mm-hmm.
matter. Like it was so hard to get hired, especially with the
Yeah.
word Scientology on there.
Well, I mean,
So
it's a
then,
similar thing too. A lot of us don't have like much education. Like if you were in a life of crime, maybe, I mean, not everybody, some people are educated and commit crimes, but some people don't, usually, or if you have maybe drug or alcohol programs, because that they do recovery, sobriety meetings and stuff. A lot of this, my dad and mom, but specifically my dad joined Scientology to as his drug rehabilitation thing, kind of, right? And we hear that from parents a lot. Like, if it wasn't for Scientology, I really would have gone down a bad path. And you're like, would you,
but
or
did you?
would you have gone to
Did you?
NA or AA or something and maybe been a little bit healthier? But whatever.
Yeah, I kind of wish that my mom, instead of doing what she did, like if she hadn't joined staff, I wish that she had gone back to school. She literally,
Yeah.
I think it was like she had either eight or nine, or it was some small number. It was um like 8 or 9 units left, and she had a degree in chemistry,
She could
like a
still do
full
it.
on
Can we get mom
bachelor's.
to go finish it? Can we help support her in any way to get mom to go finish it?
At 72, she's,
Yeah.
yeah, no.
There's 72-year-olds at LACC who were doing it because they dared their grandson.
Well, I'm not having a baby so that my grandchild or her grandchild can beg. Maybe I'll put a note on BAM. Be like, please go back to school for me.
Yes. That would really, really, really be cool. Um, All right, you guys. I mean, I think we did the start comments. If there's any last questions, feel free to throw them in. This has been so much fun tonight. Actually, I can't wait to do it every week.
Right?
Yeah,
I love doing them with you because realistically, it's us catching up just like we do on the phone.
I know. It really
Like,
is. Like it is this.
mm-hmm.
I'm shocked that Aaron makes money doing this. Obviously,
Right.
they're going to be different, and not everybody will be here from Aaron's channel. Not everybody wants to talk about trauma all the time, or self help, or how to make ourselves better. Sometimes it's like more fun to just like I don't know, talk about Danny Masterson or newsy type stuff. And sometimes we are over here processing, so we do understand that not everybody's in the mood all the time. But hey, fuck it.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
Because we got to do what we got to do. And it's always going to be, mental health is always going to be important to me because I will always remember I was there. I was ready to die.
yeah,
And if it wasn't for mental health, I wouldn't be here
yeah,
fighting for my dad.
yeah,
I wouldn't be here fighting for any Sea Org member that's stuck in there. Aunts, uncles, cousins, brothers, I don't care.
yeah,
Um, I'm here for a reason, and that's to get people out and
yeah,
get people to understand that mental health is okay.
yeah. It's more than okay. It's mental health is necessary, and taking the steps for your mental health is something we weren't taught. We've had to
Right?
teach ourselves, and that's what we were going to kind of check in about, is just like talking about our strengths for the week, talking about maybe our weaknesses that we thought were weaknesses that are now strengths.
Hmm.
Like I cried
I
on
thought my
air.
childhood
I
was
cried
a
on air
weakness.
this week. I had mascara running down my face for the Doug Doring video, but that's okay.
Hmm. And I cried when we had that one gentleman on, as well as cried when we talked about my past.
Yeah. Hi.
Oh,
What?
sorry. She
What'd
let
she
me know
say?
the name of the car. Barracuda.
That's what makes sense. That makes more sense.
Yeah, my bad. She's like, ooh,
What did you say? It was something really silly. Like it
hemikuda.
wasn't
That's
hemikuda.
what I kept calling it, a hemikuda.
What is a hemikuda? Is that even a
It
car?
doesn't exist.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to think of barracuda because you and a barracuda, like doing like the pinup thing, you'll love it.
Hemikuda. Thank you, Kara. Thank you, guys. Denver. 200,000 subscribers. Yeah, exactly. Only 200,000 subscribers to go to be Aaron.
Right?
Whoa. Whoa. Overnight.
That's just a
Just like
blink in
that.
the hat. Like,
Just a blink. Just airing it out,
yeah,
Aaron it out. Aaron the laundry out.
that's hilarious. I
Did
got
you?
that joke.
Okay, good.
I was like,
kinda,
Aaron.
I did a hand thing to see if you would get it.
It absolutely worked. I got that one. Yep, that's right, everybody. Sometimes I don't get things.
No, but you
Um,
got it.
I
It
did.
wasn't even funny.
It was
It was
funny.
dumb. It was like a dumb dad joke, but I am not a dad.
We all love dad jokes. I'm telling you, dad jokes are the best. They need to come back, just like pickup lines.
I think you have the best dad jokes, actually, Liz. Your dad jokes are like pretty fucking funny when we're together. I'm always like not expecting just like a good old dad joke to come out of your mouth.
Yeah, considering I didn't have one, but yeah, I love me dad
Yeah.
jokes.
Yeah.
It's just like the your mama jokes. Like there's never going to be too many your mama jokes.
So my best friend and I, when we were younger, hopefully you guys will meet her one day. I hope she comes out and talks. She's fascinating and has the wildest stories. But we thought it would be a good idea because we hung out with a lot of guys. It was always us and like 15 dudes because that's just who we felt comfortable with. And literally thought it would be a good idea. Instead of, they always say your mom, we just
Mhm.
would start saying your dad and start telling dad jokes. And they really didn't like it. Imagine that. Start talking about banging their dad and stuff.
I was just thinking, like, what
They
if you
can
turned
dish
to
it
your
out, but they can't take it.
No,
Okay,
no,
that's all I
most
have
of the
to
time they
say.
can't.
That's
But
so
what
funny.
if you did turn like even the blonde? How do you kill or changing that one around and be like, how do you kill it? How do you kill a dad?
hmm
Stick a sniff and scratch sticker on the bottom of a pool.
You're getting dark.
I don't mean to really kill them. That's a blonde joke. It is like a pretty
I'm
popular blonde
following,
joke.
but it's like we're trying to wrap it up on a. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just teasing you.
I know. I can't help it.
Dad,
It's kind of like your
bottom
dad's
of
so
the
dumb they thought a
pool.
quarterback was a refund.
Ooh. Yeah, you just flip it and change the word
Mm-hmm.
blonde. And okay, I see what you're doing here. Yes. We change every blonde joke into a your dad joke.
Yep.
And then we're on fire.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe the men might not like it here,
True.
but that's okay. We will take your advice. If you guys don't like the dad jokes, you tell us. Maybe we'll stop. We won't, but we'll
Probably
listen.
not,
We'll
'cause
at
I
least
gotta
tell
tell
you we
jokes.
heard you.
Yes, we will at least acknowledge you.
We'll at least acknowledge you.
But you got to remember that sometimes you got to laugh, and
Yeah.
there's enough crying in the world. Sometimes you just have to laugh, and
Yeah.
it's the little things that help us.
It is. That's all that keeps us going. It's literally just
Yeah, like
little.
I am super excited to go put on a Charizard onesie. I'm just telling you that I'm going to call you for my Charizard onesie.
Tomorrow, or do you have it?
I'm probably going to put it on tonight just because I'm super excited.
Send a photo. I need to see it.
Absolutely.
I want to show them that cute Betty and Veronica thing before I end it.
Okay. Okay, well, she's looking for her
wait,
Betty.
Hold on. I'm not going far. Don't while she's going. What are you gonna say?
I was gonna do my normal thing where I'm like, don't forget to tip your waiter or your waitress. Please be kind to everybody in the comments.
Don't forget to hit like,
subscribe, and do all the good stuff because we like seeing you here. We like following along. I love that you're all following along in the journey. We're all doing the best that we can. What is it? I know I got it for you. Oh, I'm getting fit already. Because again, her and Archie are just friends.
Did you see the comic?
Mm-hmm.
It's cute, huh? I mean, I
Yep.
know you know what it looks like, but did everybody else see it?
Yep.
I am that was my comic. Like, I loved Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for a while, but then Betty and Veronica, I was like, my thing. Josie and the Pussycats came out through them. It's a whole thing.
Mine was Thundercats and X-Men. And then I found Green Lantern.
I left and there's cosplay at the fucking chatathon. What happened here? I stand up for 2 seconds.
Hold on, cosplay. No, I had put a Charizard onesie on my wish list, and I was just like, nobody's gonna get it. It's kind of like the squirrel outfit, because I want Carrie and I to dress up like squirrels.
I'm gonna make you dress up in a squirrel outfit. I was like,
yeah, you're gonna join us. You're gonna join us with this.
With our lives dressing.
That's right. We're dressing up as squirrels because if we're gonna be squirrely, we might as well just be a squirrel.
Might as well just squirrel it up.
Oh, Marilyn wants a photo too. I will send you a picture, Miss Marilyn. Yeah, I promise.
Send it on the threads.
Right. You'll
yeah.
See. Oh.
All right, you guys. Here's my cute little intro outro. I still gotta make it into an outro, but here we do. Here's our actual degraded daughters one because it's just a good one.
You girls watch out for those DBs.
We are the DBs, mister.
And we are gonna say good night and thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you. We're going to do this every Thursday. It's Thursday at 6 p.m. PST. I will have my days together at some point here. And we really thank you guys for being here. And
yes, thank you so much. And thank you for supporting myself and my dad.
Yeah. And thank you for supporting all of us myself, my good friend Liz here, her dad, our parents through proxy, and our friends who were in there. We really, really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
You guys have a good night.
Good night, Miss.
I can feel it in my soul.